Rosa, that smile! You're right!
Christoph, hold on right in front of you, buddy. Right up top, Christoph, right up top. To your left, to your left.
Christoph, straight ahead! Go to the front. On your right, Jim. On your right. Jennifer, big smile. Straight ahead. Straight ahead, ladies. Lana, they got you already. Right here. Straight ahead.
Lana, straight ahead, top. Straight ahead, Daddy.
Right up top, right up top.
James.
Give me a wave, give me a wave.
Just that smile.
And Ken, down here. Ken, right in front of you.
Kian, look to your left, Kian, look to your left. George, we need you by yourself, buddy.
Do all this.
To the left, give me a wave, buddy, give me a wave. Yeah, there you go. George. Look to your left.
Straight ahead, Jackie.
Give me a wave. Yeah, there you go, give me a shot. To your left, right here, a little wave.
Face us. Do it, straight ahead.
To your left, right up here.
How about a smile?
Right here.
Robert, to your left, Robert, to
Straight
your
ahead,
left.
Rob. Awesome. John, straight ahead, looking up, straight ahead. John.
Right next to her. Give me a wave.
Hey, straight ahead, wave. Hey, Jennifer.
It was quite an endeavor. I did a lot of physical training. I did a lot of mental training. And I just wanted to dive straight into the world of Yukito Kishiro because the world he made is a fantastical one, a rich one, emotional one. So I spent a lot of time with his work, and I think that really helped with the character. I myself felt insignificant when I was younger. I've been through the metamorphosis of girlhood to womanhood. I think anybody who goes through that deserves a big pat on the back. It's a harrowing journey, so I related to that part of it. And I also related to the fact that it's such a universal story of inside all of us, there is a hero. We just have to take that journey inward in order to find her. Well, it was unbelievable. Performance capture allowed me to play a role I wouldn't otherwise be able to play. I don't know if you could tell, but I'm not 14 or 18, so it was nice to be able to stretch in that way as a performer, as an actor.
It was unbelievable. It was my very first film, feature film ever, and being on set with such an amazing director, amazing writer, and just the cast was unbelievable. It was like going to school. Obviously, the scope and scale is you've never seen anything like that. But beyond that, there's such a heart to the film. There's such amazing character development. Every character isn't as they seem, and I think that that's really cool. You know, there's little Easter eggs slowly that happen throughout the film. James Cameron brought such an incredible detail and intricacy to the script, as far as also character development. And then on top of that, he gave everyone their own backstory. So I was able to get a 5-page backstory on Hugo, my character, and that was, most actors have to do that themselves.
I can tell you what I loved about it. I was excited about the idea that at the center of this story was a young girl who's a hero who is on a journey to learn about herself and come to understand herself and her own strength and power, who's able to see beauty in places where other people can see no value, and who, we just watch her go about changing people all around her and changing ultimately the whole world. It was great because when I saw the film about a week ago, I could see it that, they put so much work into these amazing effects that, all happen after we all go home, all of us actors go home. So I got to see it as just an audience member, and it was so much fun.
You could feel the scope and the sort of size of it, the epic scale of it, but at the same time it was just a wonderfully intimate experience with just good friends making a movie. It's going to be a spectacle, I think it's going to be, the world building that you're going to see is going to be something that's going to lure people in and make people want to, see more of it. And I think obviously the action is something that's going to attract people.
It was the most amazing experience because Robert built the whole entire set in his backlot in Austin, so the world was completely built around us, and it was so amazing as an actor to be there and to be able to be fully immersed in something, and it was insane, and being with these amazing actors was a dream come true, and working with the filmmakers, it was unbelievable, and the movie shows how much passion and love everyone put into it. The biggest challenge for me was rollerblading, because I'm not a rollerblader, so that was the biggest challenge for me. But we had the most amazing stunt team and professional rollerbladers who came in to work on the film with us, so it was awesome. It's the perfect time for a movie like this. I mean, with women empowerment and diversity and just power in general, like this movie and bringing the worlds together, this movie is dropping at the perfect time. I'm really excited for everyone to see it.
God, it was such a fun experience. I get to work with some of my favorite songwriters on this song. I also got to work with some of my favorite producers, Matt, and Robin, on this, and it was completely different to the process that I would normally do when I'm working on my own album, my own songs. We were so fortunate to get to use some of Tom Junkie XL's orchestration and the stuff that he had composed for the movie to use for our song, and that was just it was so inspiring, and it was so exciting to get to create a song that felt just as empowering as the movie and as the character. When I watched this movie in London and my sister was there, and she's my younger sister, the thing she said, she was like, "Oh, I really want to be her." And what I really thought was really nice about that was that in every single one of us, we want to find a part of Alita. She's so strong. She's constantly trying to figure out who she is in order to be able to help others, and I think that's a really wonderful sentiment.
It was an amazing experience. I've known Jim for 25 years. We'd actually tried to work together a couple times before, and this was just the perfect project. I mean, he had done so much work on it because he was going to direct it that it wasn't he just handed me a bunch of graphic novels. He had already kind of cracked the code, and it was an amazing script, and I just really wanted to try and make a movie at the level he does it, that plays all around the world to all audiences. I related to her when I read it, and then so I thought that's a universal character. If I can relate to this 13-year-old girl, it's because of the universal quality she represents. This character who believes she's insignificant, she wakes up in a trash heap, goes on to find that she actually does possess an inner power, and using it wisely can actually affect everyone she meets and change the world. So that's a great message for anybody.
It's interesting. It was a time in my life when I acquired the rights to this. First of all, I just love the character and I love the world. But, I had a young daughter at the time. And I was looking at, it was a male-dominated world. What was her life going to be like as she went into her adolescent years? I wanted to make a movie for her, and quite consciously. And so our character of Alita starts as an adolescent, and she grows during the film into full womanhood, really, and she has to go through all these trials of who am I, what's my identity, what am I here for, and all the forces that oppose her. And I think it's an interesting journey. The eyes thing blew up early on. A very early teaser trailer went out, and we weren't really done with the process of developing the character fully. And the funny thing was, ooh, the big eyes, you know, scary, spooky. And, you know, with a few simple adjustments, we were able to capture her humanity. And by her, I mean Rosa Salazar, the actress. They're her eyes, just writ large, because manga, a lot of manga characters, and Alita specifically, are drawn with large eyes. It's the style, and that's what we wanted to preserve. But now what you see is there's so much more humanity in her face, ironically, because of her eyes.
You know, we make movies for audiences, and tonight we finally get to share a movie that we're very proud of. What told us this would be a great movie is the central character. You know, Alita, the story of self-discovery. It's a relatable thing. There's a hero inside of each one of us. This is the perfect time. It's about women empowerment. It's about boy empowerment. It's about making a difference in the world, and I think people need to take that to heart.
Where'd it go? Yeah, they're taking a moment.